Hello and welcome back, you guys. I've missed you so far over this break. Hopefully you had a good break. Hopefully your plans didn't get uh, canceled or shifted around because of everything. But we're gonna do our best just to kind of move forward and still continue to learn. All right, but today just going to be a short video. I'm meant to do a little assessment over everything from this chapter, but obviously that's not going to happen. So we're just going to review a couple of sections at a time. All right, this week and next week, and maybe a little quiz at the end of next week, but nothing too strenuous. All right, so we're just going to kind of touch the basics of each section. Okay, kind of going over everything, and then once we are done with all of just touching everything, touching the base with everything, all right, you have some assignments on Big Ideas Math, and you will be able to work out the problem and type your answer in 5 times. After that, sorry about your luck. If you don't get it right after that, then you just won't get the points for that. But be a challenging quarter, could also be a really easy quarter depending on how you learn. But we're just gonna kind of go over everything. So if you remember, 9.1 was the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, pretty elementary. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay. So what that means, if you forget, all right, so that just means that 14 squared equals, all right, 7 squared plus x squared. All right, 14 squared is 196, and that's equal to 49 plus x squared. We're just trying to solve for x here. All right, I'm going to subtract 49 from both sides. So that's going to be 100, if I subtract 50, 47 equals x squared. So then x has to equal, we need to take the square root of both sides, the square root of 147. All right. That's if we're missing a leg. If we're missing the hypotenuse, all right, 5 squared plus 12 squared equals x squared. So 25 plus 144 equals x squared. 169, very nice, equals x squared. I take the square root of both sides, and I see if it actually works out. In this case, yes. X equals 13. And then if you remember from the notes, that was one of our special Pythagorean triples. Okay. If I get enough emails or if you need anything from me, I can put those notes up on Canvas if you have forgotten them. Hopefully you haven't. But I won't go back and make videos for those. But I will post the notes if you are interested. They pretty much come straight from the book. If you have access to that, which you all should. All right. And then the second part of 9.1. All right, we're taking a look at if we're given the lengths of 3 sides, what kind of triangle do we have? So when c squared is bigger than a squared plus b squared, we have an obtuse triangle. If c squared is less than a squared plus b squared, then we have an acute triangle. But obviously, if we have c squared equals a squared plus b squared, then we have a right triangle. So we're just going to do a couple problems. All right, just kind of going over that. So our longest side is always going to be our c squared. So 14 squared. All right, and then I'm just going to leave a little blank spot right there because we don't know if it's bigger or smaller. 11 squared plus 10 squared. All right, so 196. All right, and then we have 121 plus 100. So 196 is 221. All right, so because our c squared is less than our a squared plus b squared, we have a acute triangle. And that's all you need to do there. All right, pretty straightforward. All right, the second one. All right, 26 is our longest side, so that's going to go by itself. So it's 26 squared, a little blank spot. 15 squared plus, all right, 20 squared. So 26 squared, if I just plug that in a calculator, is 676. All right, blank. 15 squared is 225. 20 squared is 400. So 676 blank, and then these two added together, 625. All right, so because our c squared was bigger this time, we have an obtuse triangle. All right, so that should be pretty straightforward. Easy group of problems for this section. All right. Now, if we move on to 9.2, all right, we learned about special types of right triangles. Okay, so this two special right triangles, which you will need to know for trig later on, 45, 45, 90, and then 30, 60, 90. Okay, so typically, all right, in a 45, 45, 90, your two legs are x, and then your hypotenuse is x times the square root of 2. So when you're going from leg to hypotenuse, you're going to multiply it by the square root of 2. All right, when you're going from the hypotenuse to the leg, sometimes you're just given the hypotenuse, where you're going to divide by the square root of 2. Okay, for our 30, 60, 90 triangle, our smallest leg is x, which is right next to the 60-degree angle, and the skinny little 30-degree angle is opposite of the x, if you notice that. And your second largest side is across from your 60. All right, your hypotenuse is always 2 times the shortest leg, so you're just going to multiply by 2. All right, this side is always going to be x times the square root of 3. So in order to get to that, you multiply it by the square root of 3 to find that side. And if you're going backwards, all right, you're going to divide by the square root of 3, all right, to give you your x. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. All right, but again, we'll just do a quick group of examples to kind of walk you through and refresh your memories, because it has been a couple weeks since we touched base with this. Okay, so here on the left, 45, 45, 90, and then 30, 60, 90 over here. All right, so I'm given one of the legs over here is 8. So if you remember up here, that's going to be like our x. So I just need to multiply that by the square root of 2 to find x. So then x for this one is 8 square root of 2. That's it. That's all you need to do. You just need to put a root 2 next to that. Okay? For the second example, all right, we have 5 root 2 as our hypotenuse. All right, so when we're going from our hypotenuse to our leg, like in the top, all right, we're just going to divide by the square root of 2. So 5 root 2 over square root of 2. 2 root 2's are going to cancel each other out. So then you get x equals 5. Those ones are pretty easy. It's the 30, 60, 90 ones that are a little bit trickier. Okay, so the first one of those, Okay, y is our hypotenuse, x is our short leg, and then 9 is our long leg. So in order to get from this to this, I need to divide 9 by the square root of 2, or by the square root of 3. So 9 over root 3, that's what x equals. But remember, I need to rationalize my denominator. And I wrote that down up here, but I didn't mention it. So I'm going to mention it right now. Rationalize the denominator if you need to. So I'm going to multiply that by the square root of 3 over the square root of 3. So I have 9 square root of 3 over root 3 times root 3 is just regular 3. But I can reduce 9 over 3 to 3 root 3. So that's what x equals. So x equals 3 square root of 3. That one's pretty easy. So a little bit trickier to find, but still possible. Now with x, so we have our x, we have our short leg, y is our hypotenuse, which is 2 times the length of this. So if I double this, that's going to give me y equals 6 square root of 3. And that's it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy so far. Okay, this last one, all right, y is still our hypotenuse, x is now our long leg. Okay, our short leg is the square root of 3. So to go from our short leg to our long leg, I need to multiply our square root of 3 by the square root of 3. So x equals square root of 3 times the square root of 3. Root 3 times root 3 is just going to be 3. So x is straight up 3. All right, and then if you remember y, okay, I just need to double what my short leg was. So if the square root of 3 was my short leg, then I just need to multiply it by 2 to get y equals 2 times the square root of 3. And boom. Hopefully, those are some easy examples. I will send an email to your parents about everything, and I'll put everything on the calendar. Hopefully this jogged your brain a little bit. Hopefully you weren't too annoyed to hear my voice again. But hopefully you guys are staying inside, staying safe, staying healthy. Hopefully we get the chance to meet in person again. But if not, we'll just keep doing things like this. But that is it. All right. Have a good day or night. You just need to have those problems done by Friday at 11. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or sign up for a Zoom session. Whatever you guys have heard about that. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And as always, go Buckeyes.